Hey guys, what's going on? It's Crusvde here, and welcome back to the Breadcrumbs SMP. As you can see, we did a little bit of a change on this building since last time. I am going to have some off-camera work. I'm going to need to rip up about half of this roof and then shift everything over by one block. It is going to drive me absolutely crazy that we don't have, that doesn't have a space on that side. Which is fine. It's not too hard to go and do. Oh, and there we go. Farm's running. So this has been starting to run, and we do need to get it to be automated. So this episode, we're going to go ahead and automate the kelp block maker from this. It is not going to be the fastest thing in the world, mainly because we're only feeding it 8 kelp. Or 8 sources of kelp until we build the one on this side. So we do need to kind of mind that it's not going to be the fastest thing in the world. But that's okay, because we can always just feed a hopper full of them going across into that system that will be over there. I think we're going to have it just come up in the middle here, so then that way when I come into this farm, I can just come in and grab it from here, and then both sides are accounted for. So let me go ahead and grab some resources, and then we'll be back once we are ready to build this. Alright guys, I am back, and I do have the materials, and I actually just cleared up this space underneath the ground just to make it a little bit easier. So we're going to come up this hole right here, and that's going to be basically where the items are going to come from. So let's put that right there. So first things first, our output chests we're going to put down now, just so that is good to go. And we're going to place some observers. Oops, not observers. Need droppers. I don't know if I made enough droppers, but hopefully I did. So that needs to be pointing up. And let's get one more. Whoops. This should be safe to break. Yeah. Alright, so that should be pointing up. Cool. So that's all good. And then we want to have items come out from here. So when you come out from here, we are going to feed it straight into the smoker. I don't know why I keep looking at my inventory. They're over here. So that's going to go into the smoker. And then we're going to want a hopper going into here. We're going to want a chest there. That goes into that. And we got to take this down a layer. Thought I had it enough. I guess not. Luckily, it's a pretty compact machine. It's nothing too crazy. Alright, let's get this going here. Alright, so once we have that, then we need to feed it into the crafter, which is going to have a solid block underneath it. And then those need to be mined out. And the crafter is going to face upwards. Put cobblestone back down. So that needs to face up. And then you need to go into 2 droppers that are facing upwards. Get more cobblestone. So that's 1, 2. And you're going to face... we're going to need to move that right there. And you're going to face this way. And then what we need to do is, I think we need to get on the opposite side of this just to make this a little bit easier. And then we're going to need a hopper. We're going to need to craft some more, but we can get the basis of the machine started. So we need that going there. And then what I wanted to do is build a buffer. So you'll come into a double chest. And then you are going to go... oops. Over to this. Okay, so that's good. Alright, and now it's time to get the observers down. I need to push this wall out. Okay. So, what we need to do is grab the observer. And you're going to face this way. Whoops. It needs to be like this. So one needs to be... one needs to be facing up that way. And then you need to be facing that... whoops. Other way around. That way. And then what we need to do this. Whoops. Actually, where's comparator and redstone dust? Just make it a little bit easier. So you need to come out of here. You need redstone. You're gonna come out of here because we are gonna push this back one more. And you are going to be a composter that is completely full. Okay, cool. And then we need to take red. The torch is going to go here. And let's put some observers down. So we need to go... whoops. I keep placing them the wrong way. So it's going to be like that, like that, like that. So now what should theoretically happen is that once we have enough kelp, so let me grab some kelp, throw that in here. I got some sticks. Get this going real quick. So you should see this start to populate. Oh, I'm missing a dropper or hopper. Whoops. You need to go in there. There we go. So that will fill up with pieces of dry kelp. Hopefully we have enough. I don't think we have enough. Oh no. Just see this on the left side tick on. Yeah, we have enough. Alright, so it'll craft the piece, it drops up here, and it threw it back into the smoker because it's going to self-feed itself until it has enough to self-sustain. And then once it does, then it's going to start dumping into this chest, which is what we want. It's a very, very compact system. So the way that this works, and I can explain the design because it's very, very interesting how Exuma came across this. I shouldn't say Exuma how he came across it, but like just the design. I thought it was really interesting. So it starts with feeding the smoker. Smoker drops dried kelp into here. The crafter needs to only get a redstone signal when it has 8 available. So we have a comparator that's checking for the level to be a 9 which it gets one per item, or it goes up one level per item in here. A full composter has a level of 8, so therefore this piece of redstone stays at a level 8, which is why we have an observer here. And then this observer is looking at the piece of redstone to hit 9, and then send a signal to craft via the observer pointing into the block underneath it, which will power the block above it. And then since we know that the crafter has crafted, it will spit it into this hopper, or this dropper right here. And because of the delay, this will then, boom, it sends it up. So the first one is the first click that you hear is, oh, actually, it's the second click. So the first click you hear is going to this one, second click is going to this one, and then it drops it into either the chest or the hopper below. So the next thing that I do want to do is actually run a piece of redstone. I think we're going to run it from this top piece and run it to the back of here. In fact, we might not need this one. We can probably get away without it. It'll feed here, and it's going to bump the items up to the chests that are above there. So let me go ahead and craft a couple more chests, and I'll be right back. And I almost just died, so that was a nice little fun experience there. Yeah, so I definitely have a slime issue in this biome, and the fun thing is, this broom is in a slime chunk, and the way that I know that is because a slime has slime or spawn inside of the building here. Oh, okay. How did you get over here? You shouldn't be spawning here. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. Well, I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to question. Okay, so we need to pull items from here. And then we need to get a redstone pulse up there, which is not too difficult. We actually can just straight up build across from there. So we just need to grab from here. And then go down one block because we want to power the one underneath it. Actually, it probably doesn't matter. So we want to go like this. So then when this updates, it should theoretically send a signal. I don't think I need to... That's not powered, right? Oh no, it's just the light. I don't think I need to throw another block into it. If so... grab more kelp. And I think what I'm going to do to kind of help this feed more is have a hopper going into it. So that way we can still get overflow up there, but we prioritize all the kelp going in first. So now that really should be going. Let's see here. One more, please. Alright, I don't think that did anything here. I don't know if that reached. So let's do that. I don't think it's powering this block because this signal is just going into here. If it isn't, what we can just do is throw an observer down into the back of this one, and it should fix it. Alright, let's see. Yep, that worked. Okay, cool. We don't need extra redstone here. Cool. So this should theoretically be good to go now. It's going to run infinitely until there's no more kelp. So hopefully things go good and we don't have to sit here and make another farm ever again for making kelp blocks, dried kelp blocks. So I'm gonna let this go and AFK for a bit and let this just fill up. The system will backfill, so it's going to have quite a while before it starts going in here. But yeah, it should be fine. I don't think there's gonna be really much concern. But all right, let's get out of here. I think at this block, yep. And we're gonna go here. Break this block, which gives us an outlet here. Oh, jeez. Like that. All right, cool. That looks fine. Like you'd never even know. So that should theoretically get us some dried kelp blocks, but it's gonna take quite a while before that happens. Alright guys, I am back, and as you can see, we have a spawner, so I am currently just mining this room out, trying to get us ready to make a mob farm. I didn't want to have to go too far for getting enchantments that I want. And I also want to be able to repair all my mending tools without having to fish. So this is probably going to be one of the most effective methods for doing that without having to go absolutely insane. What we are going to probably end up doing is, well, I got to clean this up. This farm is going to be quite a mess here. Oh geez, here we go. Some more falling down on the farm. So I found this while I was cave mining or strip mining. And I heard the zombies just all going nuts, and I was just like, all right, well, let's go check that out. Maybe it's something. Turns out it was, and I got really, really, really lucky. By the way, in that farm that we were talking about earlier, the kelp farm, I do need to add another farm there in order to actually start producing more of the kelp blocks, or the dried kelp blocks, and it has to do with the amount that of volume that it is producing. It's not producing enough, so we do need to, unfortunately, put another farm there right away. So I'm gonna probably do that off camera because I'm not gonna make you guys watch me build another farm for a second episode, or that type of farm for this second episode in a row. But I did go to the end, or the not the end hub, the little trading village that we have. And I picked up some mending and unbreaking. I didn't throw mending on this pick. I already had mending on it. I picked up mending for another pickaxe that we're going to have going at some point. Because I want one with Silk Touch, and then I want one with Fortune. So that way we can do some pretty cool things without having to worry about what we're mining and all that. Let's get another. Is everything lit up in here just to make sure? Yeah, it's just that the shader pack's dark right now. Is there an option to turn the brightness up? That looks a little bit better. It's just very dark. I don't like the darkness. Makes it a little bit creepy in here. Okay, let's finish this up, and then I'll be back once we have it starting to spawn things. Actually, yeah, I'll be back once we get to the next stage. Okay, so I am outside of the farm, and what I am going to do is start working on building this. Well, actually, first things first, we're going to have to align it to our base, so At least the tunnel exists. We're gonna leave that. That can stay there. So I mined out this entire thing just to make it a little bit more spacious, and this is coming from the farm. So once we build up inside of here, let's see, can I get through quick enough? There's a throw a torch here so we don't accidentally die. We're just gonna pull them over. We're not gonna do anything special like dropping them down or whatever. In fact, that's just gonna get closed off. I don't want to do anything special. I thought about it, but I was like, it doesn't need to be super special. So let's just put it together. And I just got the water in, and it's gonna come over here. So they'll drop. They'll take some fall damage. So they'll be a little bit easier to kill. I thought about maybe throwing them through like a thing of lava, like right here, just to make them a little bit easier to kill, but I'd rather not. It just makes it just a little bit more manual, but I want to have the option of not having to kill them versus like just letting it run auto. So I think what we'll probably end up doing is having like a slab or something that or a block that extends out, and then it lets you just kill them. And then if you want to have them just burn, we'll just have like a lava, one of those magma blocks there, and then they can burn that way. I think that will be a pretty cool like little redstone system. Like have like little pieces of glass that come up so they can't escape, but then expose it when you want to. I think that'd be pretty cool. So yeah, so the next thing is going to be getting this all situated. Mainly because there is quite a lot coming down here. But I think what we could probably do is just turn that farm on. I don't think it can hurt. Just want to block that off for now. Keep it full. And since this is going to be a zombie farm, we're going to want to do that. And then we'll just have a single block right there, kind of blocking it off. So we're going to break that, and we're going to throw another torch right there, which should theoretically allow us to break all these without issue. Break that. Oh, immediately. Alright, it looks like he's kind of stuck in this corner here. What's happening? I don't know why you're stuck. Okay. So we're gonna break that. Go, go, go. And then close that off. And we should be spawning zombies. I don't have a half slab, so we're just going to have the little guys run around for now. So let's see how long it takes them to spawn over. Ow. Whoops. Throw that in my hand. Much faster on repairing this now. That makes it so much better. Yeah, they should be taking a little bit of damage when they fall down here. Just a matter of whenever they spawn into that little thing. Oh boy. That is the... Oh! There we go. so much faster to repair. It's actually ridiculous. So I think we're good on getting that going for now. Now the next part is you know, making this a nice cave. So I saw there was that red block that was in the nether. I am going to bring that down here and then try to kind of spread that out. I really do like the look of that. I think what else I am going to do is make this stairs going all the way down, because this is kind of ridiculous right now. Is pressing space so many times just bringing it down here. So I think I'm going to do majority of this work off camera, only because it is quite a lot, and it'll keep me busy for quite a while. So we'll come back with the finished result. And if you guys want to watch some of what I'm working on, feel free to pop by my Twitch stream. You can find it down in the description below. And you can find me just working on some random stuff here and there, just to keep myself busy and not to really just hide anything. I want to show what I'm working on and see what we can do. So I'll be back, and we'll have the finished result of this tunnel going down. We got to connect it to this, so we got to build the space out first. So you got quite a bit of building to do. Alrighty, so I am back, and I do have an idea of what I wanted to do. So this is a creative world, if you can tell by the hotbar. We basically have it's kind of a neat idea where we're going to tie in some of that red that we already got going on. Now, I was trying to figure out the best way to go about it. I thought about doing the stripped mangrove logs on the edges here. Whoops. Where these redstone blocks were. And it does work, but I don't feel like it's like bright enough, so I just chose a block of redstone, and I thought that was a little bit more like just standing out and looked better overall. So I think we're gonna go blocks of redstone for it. The only downside is that if we do build redstone around here, we're gonna have a little bit of a hard time just keeping things not powered, but luckily, we kind of do have a solution. We could just use those stripped mangrove logs as a kind of like a transition if we needed to. Now, the one thing that we're going to have to do for this is we're going to have to get some frog lights. Now, these frog lights, we're going to need to find a magma cube spawner, and we're also going to need to find, oh, not find, but make a verdant frog. I think these things look sick. They look very, very nice, and they kind of complement the weathered bars a bit. So that's why we're using them up there. But the biggest thing is that using this with shaders. If we go to shader packs, enable this, it is absolutely phenomenal what these lights look like with the shaders on. I kind of wanted to go for like that green toxic look, and I think it looks really, really cool with the red, because it kind of just offsets each other. Now I did want to go for the blackstone. I believe these are the ones that we were looking at. And the blackstone works, but it looks great. It looks great with the shaders on, but if you take shaders off, it just didn't work. Yeah, I didn't think this looks too great. I think the gray contrasts a little bit better. Plus, it's like a subtle blue, so I think these will work a little bit better. So that's going to be pretty much for like the top and the bottom. So these are tiles. I did try the tiles on the top, and I did not end up liking it. So I think this is going to be like a kind of like cool like way to get our pathways. Yeah, so I think I have a good idea of what we're going to do, and now it's just a matter of collecting all the resources, and I think the hardest thing for us is actually going to be these copper bars, getting them to the weathered stage. I know how to get them to age, but we're also going to need a bee farm, because we're going to have to wax all these so they stop progressing. Same thing with these trapdoors. So we have quite a bit of work to do here. I'm going to work on a lot of this off camera, so I'm going to start getting some resources going. I might build the bee farm on camera and the frog light farm. But a lot of this resource collection I'm going to do off camera just because of how much work it's going to require. Also, we need another wart farm, so there's a couple farms that we got to make for this build to work. That's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and if you haven't hit that bell icon, definitely give that a shot. You can see when I upload, and have some more Let's Plays in your feed if you really need more. Alright, I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you guys.